Oh my God. Bad face. All right, so Grand Rising, guys, it's after 12. So I'm hoping that you had lunch and you're doing great wherever you are. Sun is out on this side. We had so much rain last week, so much flooding, but we're here. And that's a good thing. So I just had lunch. Yesterday Danny bought these, right? So I like ginger beer, I like ginger beer, I like ginger beer. What I didn't read on this thing is what, guys? Pineapple ginger. Wasn't good at all. It wasn't good. Wouldn't buy that again. But I don't know, I'm just here. It's another day at work, and today is just exciting, just so exciting. My coach was here, that's why I'm just coming on, because you know, you sometimes work with people and some people might not like the person, but because everybody has a different need for people. As I said, what your needs are might not be what my needs are. And because my needs are met and yours is not met, it doesn't mean the person is not a good person. It just means that your needs were not met. But for me, I work with this coach. Last year when he came, it was interesting. But what I found out with him, because we had another coach, but I knew if she and I was to work together, it would have been tough. I would have probably walked out, because there's some people, they all have an agenda. And for some people, it's the fact that they don't use common sense, or they don't use, you know, their experiences or whatever it is, and to evaluate things. They just jump in and whatever, and they don't look at things. For me personally, I like for the fact that when he came in, he started out with the laptops, and then he would be sending out emails. Enough time for all of that. And what grows, what glows and grows, something like that. But you know, there are people who, no matter how much you do, they always have to find an areas. Like wherever if you work somewhere, people have to evaluate you. They never can give you 100%. They always have to find something to say that you need to grow there. It doesn't matter how many years experiences you have, and you can teach blindly. You can just teach without, or whatever you do. But they have to put something there down. And for me, it's fine. Just don't come in and think that you're going to push your ideas on me. That didn't work. When they come, first thing when they start telling me, because some of them come, and if you give the kids a blank paper and say, create something, they say, oh, well, you should have drawn something, and it's an example for them. And tomorrow they come back and you draw something for them, and they turn it around and says, well, you didn't allow them to be creative. So I'm done with that kind of foolishness. And some of them come and I used to do this when, were your kids successful when you were doing it though? So don't come to me with, look at what I have to work with, because all situations are different. Look at what I have to work with, and let's work with what I have to work with. I don't want anyone coming to push on me there. Right, so this morning I came and I had to cover, during my prep time, I had to cover a class because one of our teachers are out from the 6th grade team. So I had to cover. So now instead of me walking the hallways, this is my prep time now. So the kids were coming from recess, so they were noisy, so I had to go out and just they're just interesting kids. Right. So as I was saying that when we're working with people, we have to find what works for us and what we want from the person. He comes in as a coach, and at first because I just didn't see why they need to come, because everybody comes with their agenda. Everybody is pushing for whatever, and it's not working, but they keep pushing it because they want to say, oh, we did what they hired us to do. But I use that to my advantage, and I tell him, I says, no, when you come in my room, don't come with a laptop. Don't come in here. You're not an evaluator. Don't come in and observe me. Come in and help me with the children. We have a lot of kids who are not reading on grade level, who are not even computing basic math. Come in and help me with them. So don't come in here with you, no. And with that, he comes in, and I tell him, don't take out your phone in my room either. Because that means you're looking for problems. You're looking for whatever. Help me with the children. There's no perfection. There's no perfection anywhere. And so with these children, with so much of them not on grade level, so many of them, and the few who are on grade level, you need to be able to help me with one group. I'm one person, and if I'm working with the top group, or guiding, and then to go to the next, leave them once they understand to go to the next, there's still a group that needs somebody. So I utilize him for that. I tell him, you come in here and roll up your sleeves and help me with these kids. And that's how come, people would say, oh, he does so much for you. He does. Nope, I asked for what I needed. We have relationships the same way out there, where we don't ask for things. We don't talk to each other. We don't communicate. We don't say, well, that didn't sound so good, or that didn't feel so good, or what have you. We could we try this the next time, or let's, I think this would feel better, or this would sound. No, we just take it in, and we angry, and we bitter. And so at no point can we have a safe playing ground, because people are not willing to communicate. And so for him, I tell them, this school year, I told, they were sending him somewhere and sending some other lady up in here, which I knew would have been a problem, because they're young without experience. And so when they come, it's just about them and their research base. And they'll come to me with research base when they didn't do a research on these children. You can't do research in California and then make it fit kids in this section when they have obvious change of weather here, change of seasons. So I said, you want to tell me what works? Take the same group of kids I'm working with and show me. If there's something I need to do differently, then let me do it. But right now we're doing, if they have to sing it, if they have to, you give them a chance to be themselves and to feel comfortable. And once you get that done, then you can start teaching and building. Right now we're teaching fractions, and it is so interesting, like the activities we did today was so, and when the kids got it, it was like, yeah. As I say, yeah, this is where we're getting. We're going to be taking whole amounts. So lawnmowers use 1/3 gallons of gas. How many lawnmowers can be filled with 4 gallons of gas? And they were all over the place. So I said, all right, just think of it then. It's 4 gallons of gas. Why don't we represent that? Why don't we show how we represent it? And it was quite, once they got the understanding to represent, right? It became better for them. So see how we create 4 things. The 4 rectangles represent the 4 gallons of gas. And now if 1/3 gallon fills 1 lawnmower, then why not cut up each gallon into thirds? So you draw the picture and you get the understanding. And so the kids were able then to go from there. So I want to do the math with you, my YouTube family, but what happens is that for me to capture the work that I do, my phone, I don't know. We were trying it, but it wasn't sharp. It wasn't so sharp. I don't know how to capture the entire board with it's just something I have to figure out, because I cannot stand in front of the kids when I'm doing their notes and I teach from the side, and then to capture on the phone from the side, it's not nice and clear. So unless I create another desk exactly in the front of the board, it's just what it is. But yeah, so that's what happens with us as we do our coaching cycles and everything. So when he came in today, he was so happy. He just put down his stuff and was just involved. I just have him for 30 minutes though. Just 30 minutes now, one day, I think one day a week. And okay, teachers are short. They need math teachers. There are no math teachers. So he's back in the classroom at a high school setting teaching math. Think some days, I don't know, I don't ask. But today was good. We got a lot done, and I like the motivation of the kids. The activities were great. And last night when I was planning, I came up with this. It's a nice thing for the kids. So when they're doing vocabulary or key terms, they can put the word in the middle, and then they can draw a picture. They can write a math problem. They can do, because we're working with fractions now. So this is what I needed these. And it's a good thing I said it to him, and he was able to go in and find it, because it's so embedded, where it was embedded in the curriculum, the e-curriculum. I couldn't find it. So when I mentioned it to him, I pointed it out in my book, and I said I would really love to have that to work with. And he tried, and then we didn't find it, and then he went on and typed something, and then, but in doing so, we came up with so much goodies that I didn't know I had access to them. We did integers the other day. There were thermometers in there, for God's sake, number lines, everything. So now for the fractions, I see some fraction pictures there that I can pull out and use with the kids and show them how to divide fractions. So they have, a third of something to share, and how they take the third and cut it up into sixes or what have you. And, it's just nice. I just love what I do. So just love yourselves, guys. And I'm just sitting here because I just want to say hello to all of you, to just remind you that it's a grand rising, and that you should just stay focused and feel good. Whether or not things are great, just claim greatness and move forward. Because if we sit and we stress, things only become worse. Don't be afraid if you're hurting to tell somebody you're hurting. A lot of times we sit down and people are stepping on our toes, and they're rubbing off our toe heads, rubbing it off, and we're not even make a little sound, like something hurt, or like, you make a little sound. Some people, they just sit there and they're hurting, and they don't know that they can say, it hurts, please stop. Just if people don't know, then they can't stop. People don't know. People think that it's okay. Then they keep on and they keep on. But if we just take a moment and say, look, that hurts, then they will stop and think, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, well, no, you know. So we are respectful and we're kind, but we're also, God gave us mouths to speak, and when we feel pain, don't take pain and smile as if it's good. Pain is never good. So you speak up. Don't have to be disrespectful, but speak up and let people know that didn't feel good. Because the people, and then there's a thing that they say, people, you must learn to forgive and forget. But how you cannot forget how, when things are done to you, how it makes you feel. You might forget, you might forgive and say, okay, whatever. But we remember how it makes us feel. So when people do things to us, if it made us feel good, we remember the good feelings. But if it made us feel bad, we also will remember the bad feelings. So we always remember how people make us feel, or things done to us make us feel. And it's nothing wrong in talking about it. People talk about, oh, you're this, so you won't let go things. You need what? Counseling. How many people in this world today, where did counseling come from? People counseling people can't even counsel themselves. A lot of people who come out there talking about they're telling people how to live and how to do, and they themselves are torn to pieces. So we have to learn, if we have relationships with Christ, and again, to each his own. Maybe you don't need relationship with Christ. Maybe you need somebody you can talk to. I'm not telling you what to do. But for me, I know if you have a relationship with Christ, so you can just talk to him about things, then it just seems like you're able to, to not be angry all the time. You don't need to be angry all the time. But you can be quiet. Because quiet means that I don't need to say a wrong word and then later on I'm going to regret it. I don't need to be disrespectful, because the hardest thing, especially if you're married, is when you talk badly to people and then they're still in your space. You still have to eat with them. You still have to sleep under the same roof with them. You still have to be there. So we don't need to be angry and be disgusting to people. Treat people well. Treat people well. We don't have to puff up ourselves and act like we're big and bad, because it's not a good feeling. So treat people well. And so that tomorrow when you get up and you say good morning, or the next day when you see somebody, you call them or you speak it, you don't have to feel, oh, wonder how did it feel. You know that the feeling is good because you treated them well. So it's not hard, guys. It's not a hard task. It's an easy task. So let us try. Let us nourish positives. Let us feed it. Let us feed it well so that it can survive. As you go forth today, I don't know what your situations are, but just go forth in love. Go forth in love. Just go forth in love. Find people who will make you laugh. Laugh out loudly. Laugh out loud often. I sit in here, and again, when you're quiet, the sensor, if you're not moving, the sensor just goes off, right? But it's okay. I'm still here. So take care of yourselves, my people. Today was just a day to touch base with you guys. Nothing really I want to talk about the opportunity gaps. I will make sure that I have, because my thought on opportunity gaps is different from people who are sitting there encouraging people to sit down waiting for handouts. And so I will touch bases with you guys again in the next video. I will talk about opportunity gaps. Today I was just holding a mess with you guys, just pretending that you're sitting here with me and we're just chatting about stuff. Make it a great day by choice, all right? Because it's a great day for new opportunities. It's a new month. We're still here. We're present. So just look for the opportunities and let them work for you guys. Just work for you. Take care. Be good. as you go along.